Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here. Welcome to brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Today going to go out, see what kind of stuff came out today, see what stuff's on sale. I know yesterday there was a lot of things on sale for Memorial Day, so don't know if anything still carries over. I think Fry's had some movies for like $2, a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays on sale over there. I don't know if that's still going or not. Also going to try and hit up another dollar store or two, because I know last week was, all those movies on sale there for $1, so I don't know if there's going to be anything left. There's like 2 locations that I didn't get to look at last time, so I'm going to definitely try and look at those ones as well, and maybe go to a thrift store or two. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to have a couple new DVD and Blu-ray reviews, some really cool horror ones, so stay tuned for those ones at the end. So anyway though guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. One of the main things we can today was Race, this movie with Jason Sudeikis, which I didn't get to see this one. Let me know how this one is if you guys have seen it. And I know Gods of Egypt was today as well. And don't know a ton about this one, but I know I did have some really mixed reviews. So if this one's any good, let me know if this one is worth checking out or not. The other one today was 999, which I reviewed in the last update. This was actually a pretty cool, like, corrupt cop kind of movie about playing this heist and stuff. I actually liked this one. It had a lot of side plots to it, so it kind of went in a whole lot of different directions. But this one really wasn't bad at all. And the other one today was Pride and Prejudice vs. Zombies, which is like a different take on zombie movies, like set all during like the 1800s and stuff. I think this was a pretty decent one. And they have in here, which I haven't seen in person, the It Follows Steelbook Blu-ray of this one. Really love this movie, but cool they have a Steelbook. It's all the same features and everything, but it's just like a re-release of it in the Steelbook case for that. It's a cool cover on this though. Into the Dollar Tree we go. What's funny is years back this Dollar Tree actually used to be, when I first moved here, an FYE, which was actually pretty cool because there are not very many standalone FYEs out here at all. And all I see in here in this location is lots and lots of boxes everywhere. Like I saw more in the corner as well, but I didn't see them when I first came in here, so we'll see, but it doesn't look like they have any of them left at all. Well, I found what's left. This is all that's left in here. It's like a lot of copies of The Squeeze. They squeezed this one. I can't imagine how many copies they bought of The Squeeze. And this one, Adventure Planet. And this Billy Blank's like Turbo. I've seen a lot of them. Assassin's Bullet. But that's it. That's all that's left in here. They've gone through all of them except for The Squeeze and Billy Blank's and Assassin's Bullet. That's it. Into Big Lots we go. It actually looks like they got a couple new things in here that I haven't seen in a while, like Southpaw is new, Air is a new one, Piranha, this Richard Donner one of Superman 2, the director's cut. You have Grudge Mats, a lot of DVD ones, but these are new, like Old Boy. I know this one hasn't been in here. The Cleaner, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the Hairspray remake, which I actually thought that was a pretty decent one. Different Strokes, so it's a lot of different stuff in here. That's, at least it seems like they finally changed stuff out in here for like the first time in a while, because a lot of times you come in here, it's the same titles for like months and months on end, and sometimes years. Like this one is a new one in here, Wizard of Oz, 3D one, for only $5. I have this, but that's a really pretty good price for that one, for the Blu-ray of that one. And it's also, like I said, the 3D one that has the, Blu-ray as well, the non-3D one. I have to keep looking through here and see if there's anything else really different that I don't have. But this is one of those ones that I feel like has been in here since this place opened, Deal of a Lifetime. I feel like they've never been able to get rid of this one. Like I always remember seeing this as like the $5 bins, and all these bins, this is like one of those ones you always see, Deal of a Lifetime. Yeah, but these are definitely new Blu-rays in here, like American Hustle, that's definitely a new one in here. Lockout, that's $10, the Hannah Montana one. I don't know why that one seems to be the only one that's $10 in here. Meet Dave. So some of these ones are new. X-Files they've had. La Femme Nikita, I think this might be a newer one. Possession. Love and Other Drugs, I think might have been a newer one in here. So they definitely have changed out and gotten a couple, like I said, newer things in here. Like these Ip Man films, I know these are new. This Avengers one, I believe, is new. Nothing like major that I don't have, but they definitely have updated and got some new stuff in here. Into the Valley Thrift Store we go. So we're going to take a look in here and see if there's anything different in here. I come in here every few weeks and they change it out every so often. Sometimes you can find some pretty decent stuff in here. It really depends. Like a couple times I found some really good out-of-print stuff in here, but you never know for sure if they're going to change it out or anything different. So we'll keep looking through here and see. Yeah, well, nothing major in there today. A lot of the same stuff. A couple slightly different Disney ones you don't always see, but not ones with huge value. Like they had like Lady and the Tramp and stuff. You see them a lot though, but nothing like huge value ones. And a lot of like those direct-to-video sequel ones they had too. Into the Assistant League thrift store we go. And this thrift store has the biggest selection of DVDs I've ever seen. Like I've never seen so many here in one place. As you can see though, there are not many in here. Visions of Night, which is I think some kind of book on tape thing. This American Chopper. This Pat Boone thing. Oh, Silver Bullet, which a lot of them are like sealed. This is a really, I always love this movie. Hopefully this gets a Blu-ray release at some point. But other than that, nothing really, that's it. That's all for the DVDs in here. Well, here we are at another Dollar Tree. Let's see what this one has left. In the other location, this is where they stuffed the other one. So yeah, here they are on the same spot. All they have left in this one is this Penguins of Madagascar thing, Operation Get Ducky. So this one, and of course, still more copies of The Squeeze. But this one, the one that they have a million copies of, is The Sound of Music Live. So so it seems like The Squeeze is what they have. Some of them all left, and then this one has a million copies of Sound of Music Live and Operation Get Ducky, which I don't even know what this is. I think it's like one of those weird spin-off like TV shorts or something like that from Madagascar. But that's it in here. Just Sound of Music and Operation Get Ducky. I just came across this random thrift store and they have a whole bunch of different movies in here. I gotta try and look through all these like real random, like Warlock 3, bunch of movies, but it's really a tight squeeze in here, and like stuff is real stacked up. Like, see, like these things are all stacked up on top of each other, so I'm gonna have to try and move all this to try and look at these. So I'm gonna look through these and see if there's anything, you know, interesting in here. And this is like one I just kind of randomly came across, like all of a sudden, like I just was, you know, real trafficky, looked to the side, you know, on the side, and saw this. It's not even on Yelp. That's what's so weird about a lot of these places. You don't even find them on Yelp. You just kind of come across them real randomly. This dinosaur thing, I feel like I might have like watched this in school or something. I think I did. This, I don't know when this is from, 1993. Christopher Reeve narrated this. These are some really random stuff in here. I gotta look through all this. And they have these weird like screeners of like odd ones. I've never seen these weird thin kind of screener cases, and one for, you know, everyone's favorite movie from Justin Kelly. That's a really, really random things to see. This is like considered, you know, one of the worst movies of all time. I actually never watched it at all, but it's funny. It has like a thing on the stand on the back for like a standee. You know, they set up in the store and it says like VHS market price, DVD market price. This is really interesting. I've never seen this type of a screener one. That's very interesting. They have a classic VHS, like one of the, you know, the first release VHS of Back to the Future. That's pretty cool. You don't see this in thrift stores as much as you think. You see like things like Titanic a lot, but not this one. This is another weird one I used to love as a kid. This Babes in Toyland. The cover is real screwed up. This has never even come to DVD or anything. I always really like this movie. I know it's not great, but I always kind of like this one a lot. It's another weird one. I haven't seen this in person so long. The Simpsons Christmas one, like one of their first Christmas specials. I watched this one so many times as a kid. I have not seen this, you know, VHS version of this in so many years. There's a lot of really, like I said, really random, sporadic kind of stuff in here that I have not seen anywhere in so long. And this movie in here looks really weird, called In Your Wildest Dreams. I'm probably going to get this, like some kid that like makes a robot or something. I don't know. I've never seen this thing in my entire life. This looks like one I'm probably going to have to get. Into Walmart we go. And pretty much like the main releases, like I said, was Gods of Egypt in here today, like I showed in Target. And then, you know, Race and 999. Doesn't seem to be any, you know, exclusive editions of any of these ones in here, as far as I can tell. And I think this one might have come out today called, I think it's like Wild Bill Hickory Sweet Justice. I don't know much at all about this one, but I'm pretty sure this one was today. Well, it seems like most of the same stuff from the past couple of weeks. It doesn't seem like they really changed anything else out in here. As far as I can tell, I really don't see anything really different in here. I feel like in the next at least week or two, they're going to have to really, you know, change all these out. Because every so, like I always say, they keep the same stuff for like a month or so, or a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden, the whole section will be all changed out and be some new stuff. Because it's really been the same titles in here for quite a while now. Into Fry's we go. Yeah, there's a couple things on sale in here, a lot of $4 ones, but I think it's a lot of the same $4 ones from last time. A couple ones down to $9, like this Riot one, which I never sold. This came out not that long ago, like a month or two back. It's only $9.99 now, but I don't know if that one's any good or not. Here's one of the $2 ones, you know, Last Action Heroes in here for $2. I have, I don't think it was this one. I think I had the Sony release of this one from a while back. I don't think they have that one anymore. I think that one's like, pretty much now it's the only release through Mill Creek. But I think that's one of the only one that I've seen so far that's the $2 ones. This is one of the ones that I think was in the Dollar Trees on DVD, I think, for $1. I don't know if they had a Blu-ray of that one for $1, any of them or not. Yeah, here's another one of the $2 ones. I know what you did last summer. I already have that one. So to see if there's any of these $2 ones that they have, or any things that I don't have already, like Gridiron Gang, you know, the Rock movie, that's another one of the Mill Creek release ones. That was an okay movie as far as I remember. Fatherhood. So it seems like a lot of Mill Creek ones are, you know, $2 in here. And this is really where it says Crimson Peak $26.99, but then on the actual thing, it says $16.99 with that sticker. That's very strange. And then some of these things in here, like Creed 33, you know, 98. Like, it's like, sometimes the prices in here are really good, and other times, so like I've always said, they're really crazy, like really odd how they're so high. They have a million of these things in here today. You know, I've never seen them put these up in here. These Prop 65 warning, something in here causes cancer. They have to put these in California, but I don't know what in this store. You know, are they trying to say that these DVDs and Blu-rays can cause cancer? Because if that's the case, I'm not in good shape then, if that's the case. Into Best Buy we go. Well, it really seems to be a pretty small release week. There's really nothing new in here today at all. I don't really see anything. It's pretty much, like I said, it's not been a lot this week at all. I know coming up there's going to be some more stuff, but it's kind of slow for a little while. But they do have their own edition in here, though, of Gods of Egypt. You know, a Steelbook one, only a Best Buy one. So that's pretty cool. They have their own release one of this one. But besides that, I really don't see anything else in here besides the ones I showed earlier in other places, you know, Pride and Prejudice vs. Zombies and 999. But I don't see that stand. Oh no, here it is. I was trying to show this. They actually do have it in here, this 80s hit stand. You know, these are what I was trying to find last week. You know, I ended up having to order. It was like a huge to-do with these. Like, they couldn't find them in the back, and then like originally they said they weren't not available in stores, so I ordered them online. Then they all got back ordered, so I was able to cancel 2, and I went to another location, you know, another Best Buy, and ended up getting them in person. You know, getting 2 of them, and the other ones that were ordered online ended up coming. So at least I ended up getting them, but it was a big to-do because the store that I called, the other Best Buy, I called them first and said, "Oh, did you get them in?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we just put them out." I said, "Oh, you see them in the shelf and everything?" She's like, "Yeah." Then I got in there, and they weren't there. They were nowhere to be found whatsoever. So it was a real to-do. But at least they do have these in here now. But of course, like I said, I already have all of them. But it's cool to actually see the stand in person, though. Well, that's all for this DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I said, not a huge release week. You know, I know coming up there's going to be some more stuff coming out, but this just wasn't a huge week. Only thing I ended up getting was that VHS tape I showed in that thrift store that I randomly found. But anyway, though, guys, now stay tuned for a couple new DVD Blu-ray reviews. And the first one I got from Shout Factory Scream Factory line is a pretty cool movie, you know, starring Jason Patric, you know, who's on Wayward Pines, and I always think of him from The Lost Boys as Michael. But this is actually a pretty cool movie called The Abandoned. It's basically about this girl in the beginning of the movie. You know, she's talking to her mother on the phone, and she's like going, Mom, I'm not going to screw this up. And the mom's like, you know, you've had all these chances. You've got to get this, you know, make this job work. You know, this is going to be your last chance. And you've had all these kind of problems in the past. So, you know, she's had some sort of issues. So she ends up getting this job working night security at this kind of, throughout the movie, you start to find out more and more and more about what this location is and everything about it. But she gets this job at this really weird looking abandoned building, which is kind of kept up, and they have to have security guards guarding this place at night because it's really a nice building, and there's a lot of old antiques and furniture and all kinds of things throughout the place that people are coming in there and stealing things, so they kind of have to have them patrol this place to keep it safe and things like that. So she ends up getting this job as night security in this building. She gets showed around the place and kind of showed the ropes of what to do, and she ends up, you know, working in there with another night security guy who is, you know, played by Jason Patric, and it's kind of you know, it's basically, you know, she kind of comes in there. Jason Patric's giving her all kinds of problems, saying, yeah, you're just getting this job after school. You're in your 20s. You don't care. You're just going to be gone in a couple weeks. I don't even know why I'm bothering showing you how to do all this stuff. And he's kind of got a bad attitude. And, of course, though, once she starts going around, it's kind of, you know, they have all kinds of cameras throughout this building. They even have this thing, kind of like on the show Fear, that she wears. It's like this camera when she walks around and patrols, and he sits there and watches what she's doing and kind of says, go this way and check this area. It's kind of a cool idea, though. But of course, though, when she's in there, she starts to see kind of weird things. She sees these weird, stuff popping up and hearing odd things, asking him about it. And of course, she eventually finds this, when she's wandering around this place, finds this, closed off door, and she ends up wanting to open up the door. And of course, it deals with what happens when she opens up this door. Also has to deals with this homeless man who's outside of the place that wants to come in, and letting this person in is not a good idea either. So it's a whole to-do about letting this guy being let in. The guy, Jason Patric, does not want to let him in. Of course, she wants to. So it's got all this on top of all these creepy aspects of things going on. It's actually a very creepy movie, and the outcome of the movie too has a really pretty deep movie. It's a pretty deep movie at the end of the movie. Like I said, I thought this was actually very creepy. There was some extremely creepy stuff in this movie. Kind of has, I don't want to say the movie exactly what it's kind of like a little bit, but it's definitely got some creepy vibes, and definitely surprised me too with how creepy some of the stuff was. And this has on here, though, deleted scenes and an alternate ending, but I would definitely recommend checking this out. I actually really like this one a lot. The next one from Well Go USA is a Nicholas Hoult movie. It has a lot of cool music in this. It's set during the 90s. It's called Kill Your Friends. And it's basically Nicholas Hoult is working for this kind of, really kind of popular record label. And it's kind of talking about, how he's trying to, get up in the company and kind of be like the top dog there. He also works with, James Corden. He has kind of rivalry with him because he's kind of worried because the one boss who is the head of this company is going to be leaving, and it's kind of like Nicholas Hoult thinks either he's going to get this job or Nicholas Corden's going to get this job. So it's kind of this weird thing going on between them, and he's kind of like, messing with his drinks and doing all this kind of stuff to kind of make him sort of be a screw up and not show up to work on time and kind of have these things. And it's kind of deals with, like I said, the whole music industry and him trying to find new acts and him kind of going around with the people that he works with, listening to demos and things like that, and then also checking up on the artists that they have signed. And then there's some of them are really wasting their money and doing weird stuff with the money. Like they say, that says this generation's American Psycho, and it does have that kind of feel to it with, the Nicholas Hoult's character, because he's pretty much going to do anything he can to go up in this business and get further along, and it's kind of the actions and his decisions on what he does, and it kind of takes some real crazy turns with what he does to try and do anything he can to get up in this business of the record industry. It has on here, though, interviews with the cast, crew, and director, but I actually thought this was a pretty cool movie. Like it says, it does have that kind of American Psycho sort of feel, and you kind of watch Nicholas Hoult's character get crazier and crazier. And it's one of those ones too where the character, he's pretty much a bad guy, but you're kind of just watching to see what he does. The next one, this is from these are German releases from Subculture Entertainment, and these are ones I had not seen before. Now these are Blu-ray releases. This one is region B, the other one is region free, so anyone can watch that one. This one, though, you have to make sure you have a region free free player or a region B player to see this. And this is from the Grindhouse collection. It's a movie called Death Dream. It's also released in the U.S. under the title Dead of Night, I believe. And this is a Bob Clark film, who directed, Christmas Story and Black Christmas, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. A couple of people from Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things are in this one. This was shot in Florida, where he filmed Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things as well. And this movie is one of those movies I don't think I had ever seen before, and really loved it. It's a pretty, creepy movie. I actually found it really creepy. It's basically, set during the time of the Vietnam War, and this family's son ends up, dying in war, and the officers come back to tell the parents that he's passed away and he died. Of course, the very next day after this is said that he has died, he ends up coming back. And then he's, you see him kind of hitchhiking there, knocking on the door. He comes back to the house. And, there's immediately something off about him, because he's been said he's dead. So there's something crazy going on when he comes back, and he's sitting there, when the parents are talking to him, saying, how's everything going? He's sitting there all dead stare like this. Very weird. Doesn't get along with the dog, and people are showing up dead, the guy that he, hitchhikes with to get the ride. So it becomes this whole thing about him and what he's doing to stay alive, and it's extremely creepy. And I actually didn't even realize this till the end. I was looking at it, it said Tom Savini did the effects, and I think this is one of his first movies doing special effects, and you could tell it was really, really cool effects. It's also one of these movies that's extremely ahead of the time for 1972 with what this was and the whole vibe of this, and it actually really holds up well and stays very creepy. Looks really, really good on Blu-ray too. A great transfer on this. Like I said, though, this is a Region B release, so keep that in mind. Now, the next one, though, from them as well, this one is a Region Free release, so anyone can watch this one, no matter what kind of Blu-ray player you have. I don't know about the DVD, though, if that's Region Free or not, but the Blu-ray is. This movie's called Don't Go in the House. Like I said, this is in German. But this one, there's another one that I don't think I had ever seen before. I think I had the DVD of it, but then I think, like, I had never ended up watching it in the past for some reason or another. I don't know why. But this movie's basically about this guy who, as a kid, his mother had, like, tortured him with fire when he was bad, and she'd hold his hands over the fire, the stove in the kitchen, and burn him. So he has these total hang-ups and this weird obsession with fire. He works at this kind of factory kind of place where they do kind of stuff with fire and things, and, you know, you can tell there's something really off with him. He ends up going home from work one day, and he finds that his mother is dead, and she's dead in the chair. And as soon as this happens, he kind of cracks and starts going crazy. And then he eventually, like, he builds this crazy room in his house. It's like a fireproof room where he kidnaps women and takes them back there and burns them to death in this fire room. And it's insane stuff in these creepy sequences of, like, him seeing the ghost of his mother and the things that he's doing to these women, and the women, like, you know, seeing them in his dreams and the house. And it's really crazy. And the guy that he works with too is trying to make sure he keeps his job because he's never coming into work. And I don't know, I really like this, and it has some crazy scenes too of him, like, getting disco clothes, and I really like this movie. Like I said, this really another one that holds up and is very creepy. I really love this one. It has on here, though, some interviews and stuff on here as well, commentary with the director. But another one I would definitely recommend checking out. Like I said, this is a Region Free release, though. And last one from Impulse Pictures, a movie called Bad Bad Gang. And they actually made another movie. They're in the same exact time they were filming this. I put some cover stuff up. There's nothing really bad on it, but just in case. But it's basically more of an adult film starring, you know, Renee Bond, who was in tons of different stuff, Country Cousins, a lot of the Harry Novak movies in the 70s. And this is basically about a group of these friends that are going out, camping out in the woods, and, you know, there's this crazy biker gang that ends up seeing them, ends up, like, basically torturing them, and, you know, it's, you know, what they end up doing. You know, you can figure out what the kind of stuff they're going. It's kind of got a sort of a Last House on the Left kind of vibe to it. Sort of has that kind of feel to it. Really kind of strange, though, and, like, has that real thrown together kind of odd vibe to what's going on. And, like, I know this version too has some added in scenes and stuff like that. They were not in the original one, but kind of interesting one. Like I said, they also filmed this other movie during the exact same time as this, like, most of the same people and stuff as well, but kind of an interesting one. Looks pretty decent on Blu-ray, I mean on DVD as well. But anyway, though, guys, that's all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching, subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.